Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout have both landed on the injured list. We're going to start by talking about Shohei Ohtani. And we have a fun fact about Shohei Ohtani we'll get to a little bit later. We have a new friend of the podcast. He wants to try and go up against Shohei Ohtani and see how that would go. And I think he could stand a pretty good chance, actually. So Shohei Ohtani has torn his UCL. He skipped a couple of starts since August 9th. He left his start early because of arm fatigue. He had Tommy John surgery in 2018. We're not sure he'll need it this time, but he has played through a torn UCL before, and he did it at the DH position. So far, that's the speculation. That's the party line is that he's just going to keep playing DH through the remainder of the season in the lineup tonight as a DH. So, and this is becoming more common that guys with torn UCLs are still able to swing the bat. So, Brad.
Yeah, because it doesn't affect your ability to swing the bat. Like we've talked about it all the time. We saw Brother Harper do it last year in the playoffs and had an outstanding run. So there's that. Like Ohtani can continue to hit and hit well through the rest of the season. Correct.
Does Ohtani's injury diminish his value as a free agent this offseason?
It's tough to say. Just because if he does have Tommy John, that means he's out next year. And I think what it will come down to for him is not necessarily how much people are going to pay him, because I think most teams are still going to come to him. They'll yes, dollar amount wise, probably they'll be like, you're not going to pitch next year, so that's one less year we're going to pay you to pitch, right?
Sure.
So there might be some fancy footwork on the contract as far as language and things like
payments and whatever. Yeah,
exactly. But I think this actually benefits Shohei Ohtani in the free agent market, because he can say, who are the teams that truly care about me for me? What teams are going to try to rush me back next year when, like, at the end of the season, if they really need me for a playoff push? Are they going to try to get me into that rotation when I might not necessarily be ready to pitch? Are they going to give me the rest when I need it? Are they going to at this point potentially two Tommy Johns, or at least UCL tears? You kind of need to baby that arm a little bit. And what teams have the capability of doing that? And Brig, wouldn't you know it? I know the perfect landing spot for him.
Yeah,
for such a situation. The Seattle Mariners have the best pitching rotation in baseball right now. 3 guys in the top 10 betting odds favorites for the Cy Young. I think Shohei Ohtani goes perfectly into that rotation. And if he gets to pitch later next year, they're like, great. If you're just a DH next year, great. That was a major hole this year.
Totally.
Seattle's calling Shohei.
Well, and with Ichiro, and we've talked about that as a major pull. So you're right. I like it. I think that's interesting. And
I had that realization. I was like, ooh, this could work out very favorably.
Yeah. I had not thought about it in terms of his decision-making regarding where he might best fit, and how that plays into his cultural evaluation of different clubs. So I like that. I like that a lot. It makes a lot of sense. I'm going to switch over to Mike Trout now. Mike Trout returned from the IL after missing 38 games, and now he's back on the IL after he played 1 game on Tuesday. He went 1 for 4 and then did not play in the doubleheader at all on Wednesday. Will not participate in baseball activities for at least 10 days. Brad, should the Angels shut Mike Trout down in a lost season?
Yes, they should. Because you need him to get healthy. Because if you're going to have any competing next year, if you're going to have any chance of Shohei Ohtani coming back next year, this season is completely lost. You're not going to make the playoffs. It doesn't matter what you do. You pretty much have to win every game from here on out to make the playoffs, and it's not going to happen.
No.
And to show that you're competitive next year, to have any shot of Shohei Ohtani coming back and re-signing with you, you have to have 100% Mike Trout.
Totally.
The problem with that, you haven't seen that for a number of years.
Nope. I don't think we'll ever see it again.
I don't think we will either. But no, they need to shut him down just so that he can go in and have a full off season plus and be ready to go for spring training. And I mean, if they're back and they've got Shanuel ready to go, they've got talent ready to go for next year. Right.
Yeah. So. I don't know what their depth looks like in terms of the farm system and their capabilities to fill holes with injuries and different.
Well, there's always somebody who can come up and play center field. They've
got guys, but they don't need sparring partners. You know, they need contenders. They need to have an
you're talking like next year
system.
You're talking like next
I'm talking about next year.
Okay, yeah. This year I was like, they just need warm bodies this year.
No. I mean,
across the finish line.
Right at this point, who cares? You could play the entire Salt Lake Bees club and it wouldn't matter, right?
I'll go play center field for him.
Exactly.
And I need the cutoff man to come out like wow, but on my throw. But I'll go play center field.